Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader, where last time we acquired a new ally in the form of Marazai over here. He is now a new companion of ours. He has betrayed his own kind within the arena to join us in the hopes that we can help each other escape and then probably go back to trying to kill each other. But until then, we are going to work together and get the hell out of this place, because this place is hell. Almost literally hell. Like, if you come up with a definition of hell, this would probably be pretty similar to what it would be like. We look at our quests here. Actually, I haven't looked at our quests in a while. Find a way to escape. How do you say it? Kamara? Something like that. Reunion. Right, so help Cassia set Heinrichs free. Yeah, so it's not even showing Argenta and... Is it just showing the companions I had with me at the time? I think it is. Since Argenta and Jay weren't with me, they didn't come on the ship with me. Are they fine? Back on the ship? Did they manage to escape? We haven't seen any of the other crew members, like Raver or the Voxmaster. So maybe they managed to escape. I guess that would make sense. So we still have to set Heinrichs free. Opponents have fallen, so now she can demand help to escape the incident. Alright, a new ruler. The maker's profane creation known as the Chtonos has escaped from its maker. This biomechanical abomination now stalks the mangled sector, preying on unfortunate victims. Yeah, we gotta kill him too. Scalpel, needles, and sutures. Wants to create a new monster. He needs a special organ. He needs special organs and body parts, worthy becoming a part of his blasphemous titan. Gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and head on out. Let's try and get Heinrichs back. Yep, this group of people. There's also the one guy with the red beard. I could have sworn that was going to be the other companion, but we got Marazai instead. I don't know. Do you get one or the other? Or are we going to end up getting him too? I don't know. Is Heinrichs going to die because we chose Cassia first? I don't know. But I'm ready to find out. Because we only have a spot for one more person, right? Because Marazai has taken Earliette's spot. And I think I'm going to use him because he's really cool. A monster, but cool. Like, if he was a real-life person, no. No, he's not cool. But we need to change our formation here. I'm going to have you just off the edge here. Let's go with the good old-fashioned triangular formation here. Heinrichs will fill in the other spot. Alright, so the quickest way... Not using that until I get Heinrichs back, because he's my warp guy. The quickest way up there is through this portal.
Beneath my feet.
What is this? Incubus blade armor. Right. Okay. That's the, like, spike armor. Essentially. Alright, back through here we go.
Uncover my path.
Unknown depths of the labyrinth dimension. Region Kamara. Location the chasm. Material Garthairyt Bloodfeather's hunt. Extracted from the bloody remains by the carrying hand, scalpel, and neurophage tentacle of homunculus elevanth. The rising currents carry the smell of pain, blood, ichor, and failed ambitions. The smells of the dark city. With my wings flung open, I weave a path through the spires like a dark lightning bolt, chaotic and unpredictable in its patterns. To fly is to hunt, and everyone is in flight. Everyone who is in flight hunts everyone else. Even I, Scourge, Garthairyt, Bloodfeather, do not have the privilege of inviolability around these parts. I may become someone else's prey, except probably not today. This day I am the hunter. My homunculus-modified olfactory receptors pick up the scent of my prey, and I tread cautiously as I approach it. The stench of monkey is foul but varied, and the scent of my prey is quite telling. A powerful specimen, brash and reeking of the blood of others. I descend to the minaret that grows out of the nearest spire and provides me with an excellent view. Accelerated reflexes allow me to assess the situation in a fraction of an instant. It is time. But I still decide to wait and get a better look at the prey. I act. Get a better look. A female monkey. A pampered upper caste cub who was fed and equipped with the best their race can offer. It certainly arrived in the Dark City recently, the city which has not yet managed to leave a mark of perpetual expectation of doom on its flattened snout. The most glorious game which clings to life, the strongest and leaves the sweetest death essence. The reflexes urge the muscles to act. I act. The shard carbine spews forth a stream of crystalline projectiles that howls and shatter as they pierce the flesh of the prey. A deadly slashing blizzard drapes the street in bloody snow, the bodies of random passerbys caught in the fire falling to the ground. This is a common occurrence in the spires. Everyone around me flees from the field of death whose borders I have made clear. The prey falls, but it is still alive. I don't expect the hunt to end with the first salvo. The prey is badly injured. I can easily finish it off in the open. The prey summons companions to aid it. Uses its awareness, it's trying to locate me among the tangle of spiked minarets. Break into a run. We're gonna aware. Failed. Its frantic gaze leaps helplessly from one spire to another, but my hiding place is too discreet. Triumphant, I revel in my superiority. The prey summons companions to its aid. A mistake. I unleash a few fans of crystalline shards, and the flesh of the prey blossoms with new cuts from my projectiles. Anyone who tries to approach it will be killed by the brittle shrapnel. The prey should have run away, not giving me more chances to cripple it. The prey is weak. Its frantic gaze leaps helplessly from one spire to another. I've already read that one. Breaks into a run. Clever. By escaping from the open streets, the prey has deprived me of the advantage of my long-range weapon. But I will not let it escape, so I spread my wings and soar over the alley, pelting the prey with bursts of indirect fire. The chase must not end too soon. The petitioner wanted my prey to die slowly. The prey flees down the most predictable and straightforward route, hoping that its strength does not abandon it. Slips away using the bodies of random passerbys as cover. Grabs someone's weapons from the ground and returns fire at random. Okay, we're gonna go with agility, I think. There is more blood. By rushing into the crowd of fleeing bystanders, the prey has made them obstacles in my hunt. I generously sow death among them, but their deaths bring me no joy because the prey keeps eluding my volleys. I let out a disappointed shriek. The hunt continues. The prey manages to elude me for a moment by ducking into a crowded street. The jet booster on my back emits a stream of ghostly blue flame, and I continue my pursuit. As I storm into the street, I see the prey again. This is a nice catch. The petitioner wanted me to deliver the prey to her, but I decide to do something different. When it is over, I will impale the body of the prey on a spike protruding from the highest spire so that it serves as a testimony to my victory. Willpower test succeeded. The initial horror caused by my sudden attack has already worn off. The prey has suppressed its panic and is acting decisively and boldly, a commendable triumph of will over instinct. Seeking to slow me down, the prey turns some bystanders against me, bars my way with a cataclysm, slips away with the skill of one who has lived here her entire life. Use our tech skill. Yes! The prey rushes over to a half-dismantled jet bike, shoves away the slave who is repairing it, and overloads its anti-gravity engine with admirable dexterity. It barely has the time to bounce back before a deafening explosion fills the air with shards of rock, pieces of wraith bone, and fragments of bodies. One of the projectiles hits me in the chest and throws me to the ground. I manage to regroup and avoid injury, but get up with a furious screech. I was cast down, an indelible insult. The conclusion is drawing closer. Ooh. As I turn the corner, I triumphantly realize that I have driven the prey into a dead end. It is time for the massacre. The poison I received from the petitioner as payment for the hunt is contained in the crystalline projectiles and should have worked by now. It will now slow the nervous system of my prey, weaken its muscles, and render it unconscious. When I spot the prey, I am pleased to note the early signs of the effect of my combat toxin is having on it. Its movements are slowed, and it's blinking often. Spots are floating in front of its eyes by now. Demolitions look defenseless, and I attack. Failing to notice the trap it had laid for me. It's probably going to be the best one for me. The prey is not where I expected it to be. Having climbed the ledge of a wall, it lunges at me and bellows. 0%. Lunges at me first. I realize too late that it is not desperation, but cold determination behind it. Demolition. Damn. I see a monofilament stretched between the walls. A primitive trap indeed. I fold my wings for a moment, and I tear it down with a blow from the muzzle of my shard carbine. Everything will be over in moments. The outcome will be decided in close combat. Wasting no time, my prey and I seize one another in violent, furious embrace. Every decision made over the course of this fleeting hunt is being weighed, tipping the scale that will ultimately determine the winner. I am unpleasantly surprised when I realize the prey is aware of my combat style. It covers the vulnerable spots I like to cut open with my monomolecular claws, but this knowledge will not save it from death. My embedded glands spew hyperadrenaline into my bloodstream, and my artificially grown muscles convulsively swell under the porous fabric of my ghost plate. I torment the prey, with claws protruding from my forearms and knees, and the prey... wow, all of these are bad for her. Banks on brute force, trying to break my fragile bones and shatter my joints. Oh, that's 100%. Really? Weapon skill. Grabs one of the blades hanging from my belt and aims it at my throat. That'd be fun. Responds with clinical attacks aimed at my weak points. Allows me closer, enveloping me in a deadly embrace and hoping to suffocate me before I tear it to shreds. Okay, well, we're obviously going to do the strength one. Powerful blows crush the hollow bones drilled by the crafty homunculus. Their lightness served me well during the flight, but has betrayed me here on the ground. I lose my footing, my body going floppy like a rag. My strength waning, I reach for the shard carbine and shoot the prey right in the face at point-blank range. The crystalline projectile whizzes within a hair's breadth of its face. A crushing blow turns my magnificent weapon to rubble with a mournful crunch. The prey grabs me by the throat, lifts me into the air, and snarls. It seems to want to know why I attempted to kill it. Yep. Would I tell it if I could? About my petitioner, Kekaros the Witch? About how insulted she was by the deaths of her fosterlings, the blood-stained proselytes, in the arena at the hands of my prey? About how badly she wants to spite the prey's master, the sour-tempered homunculus Tervantius, who had arranged that insult? I do not know, for my throat is crushed, and only a faint wail escapes it. I die. I am dying at the feet of my prey. No, at the feet of a monkey. A humiliating end for one who earned the status of apex hunter of Kamara. Through torturous alterations of the flesh and a body, and a bloody pilgrimage to the very top of the spires. Does it hurt to perish like this? It does. Is it fair? It is. The chaotic burst of violence that bloodied the streets of Kamara ends just as abruptly as it started. Such is life in the spires. Hell yeah. I am victorious. Though I do have an injury.
I'm at your service. This wound
you get rid of that.
Make a fine scar.
Your aid was acknowledged.
Alright. What do you have on him? Adrenal gland enhanced by homunculus, capable of dispersing pure hyperadrenaline through the owner's blood. Alright. And where are we? Looks like we ran back down here. Okay. That was fun. I'm surprised my strength was able to do it. Like, my strength is only 30. That was weird. I think it's because he had hollow bones. That must have been why I had such a big bonus to it. So that's probably like almost an instant success for anybody. Would have been cool to use one of the other ones though. But it just wasn't any of my skills. I'm glad I did succeed at tech use though, because that was kind of the skill I probably have invested the most points in, I imagine. Alrighty. So we've got a couple of body parts he might be interested in. So let's see if we can get Heinrichs back. Cervantes rushes about the laboratory, snatching up certain tools, vials, and notes. He conceals some of these items inside his own body cavities and destroys the rest. I've done what you wanted. Does no one here wish to hail the victor who defeated the arena's best? Look at me, inhuman, or I shall deal with you as I dealt with the blood-stained proselytes. Did something happen? Yeah, what's going on? The cult of the fatal thirst craves blood, specimen. Your blood, my blood. One must be astoundingly insensitive to the vibrations of the Dark City not to realize this. The homunculus notices Marazai. Drakon Azariash. I don't know. After you went against the Archon of the Reaving Tempest, you decided to violate the wishes of the Archon of the Black Heart as well. You were thrown into the arena to die. You show wretched incompetence by defying your masters. My presence offends you, I see. Good. Marazai sneers and looks around. You have made yourself quite comfortable here in the chasm. Is this where you have kept the things that you dared not bring to the spire of the Reaving Tempest? It must be vexing having to abandon it all as you flee the cult's wrath. One of Cervantes' limbs twitches and strikes blindly. Only Marazai's reflexes save him from a fatal neck wound, but the homunculus makes no further attempts to attack. He seems to care more about his substances and instruments than the insufferable Kabbalite. Why do the witches desire my death? You humiliated them, monkey. Kekaros and I agreed that she would send fresh meat against you, but she decided to undermine my authority by sending out her best. You slaughtered them, and so it was the cult's authority that suffered. But who cares about a pathetic monkey? You are my lackey, and thus it is I who is responsible for undermining the cult's authority. And it wasn't enough for you to just kill them. You enticed one of the blood-stained proselytes to join the monkey's side. As the entire chasm watched, a slap in the face of the cult wasn't enough for you, so you decided to spit in its face as well? Yes. Oh, but there is more. Oh, Kekaros and Sinastoria are now writhing in horror at the mere thought that their headless subordinates have lost the Kabbalite, who was sentenced to death by Nazarkai himself. First, they decided to play at charity by making me a proselyte, and now they let me slip through their fingers. Oh, I wish I could see the succubus's face when she was given the news. You dispatched me to kill the witches. Are you telling me you didn't anticipate such consequences? I don't care about Kekaros. You promised me to help. So what's the plan? You didn't expect such consequences? It was supposed to go differently. Your performance was supposed to be a lesson in respect, not a declaration of war. You would have killed someone unimportant and made the witches' vanity bleed. The witches would have received your head as a salve for their wounded pride. They would have been reminded for a time that I was still someone who could greatly complicate their existence. Instead, you have failed me, all of you. Kekaros did not keep her word, and you did not die in her trap. It is all your fault that things have spiraled out of control. I don't care. You promised to get me out of here. You hear mockery in the homunculus's voice. Forget the old promises, monkey. This is war. My loyal servants are being slaughtered across the chasm. I cannot take any more specimens away with me, and the ones I have already packed are far more valuable than you. Marazai's face suddenly changes. His mocking grin gone, he fixes his gaze on the homunculus. Into the spire of the Reaving Tempest? To hide under the wing of Emirius? An Archon fallen into disgrace? What an imprudent choice. You should run away from her and her troubles, unless you are somehow connected to her crime. Cervantes glares at Marazai. You were not in a position to know about the Archon's plans before, much less now. So what is the plan? I believe the anatomical opera and withdraw to the spire of the Reaving Tempest. The witches won't dare to settle their scores under the eyes of my patrons, so the Cabal's valuable servant is safe from their ire. As for you, go out into the streets of the chasm and die, or go into the arena and try to kill Kekaros. Even if you succeed, you will still die. The homunculus mutters furiously and haughtily. I should have stopped wasting time on this idiocy long ago. All those pathetic simpletons did was weaken my focus and distract me from my masterpiece. At last I can devote all myself to it. So I managed to bring down your downfall after all, unholy spawn. Don't be such a coward. Let us face them here and kill them all. I shall end Kekaros. Take me with you. We are allies. This is all your fault. It was your idea. So I managed to bring about your downfall after all, unholy spawn. Tervantius's voice is filled with loathing. Your insight is astounding, specimen. But have you noticed that you have also doomed yourself? Tervantius becomes so absorbed in his thoughts that he starts shearing off pieces of his own flesh with scissor-like claws. Enter the arena. The succubi will not pass up this chance to gut you in front of an audience. If you could simply wound Kekaros, it would give us both enough time to escape. For that, I would be willing to sacrifice the deadliest and most valuable specimens in my collection. If you manage to kill her, run. Sinistoria will not let such impertinence go unpunished, and her wrath is 100-fold more dangerous than Kekaros' fury. Do not return to the chasm. You will find no shelter here. Seek salvation in other spires, and you may prolong your agony for a short time. Since you're intent on fleeing, you might as well release my companions. Yep. I cannot transport them to my new sanctuary. You may take them. Some may still be alive, but do not allow them to use their abilities until I have left the anatomical opera. Okay. I also found more pieces. The homunculus digs through the chunks of flesh with enthusiasm of a hungry vulture. Finally snaps. Good material. Good specimens. Bring me more. I don't know if that's a good idea, actually. Alright. Take my leave. With a weary sigh, the homunculus turns away from you, his knife-like fingers making an unnerving scraping sound. Okay.
The world will bow.
Take all that. Go grab this stuff. Alright, where is he? Wait, is he not in here? Hyrix? Why is the game so running so slowly?
Let's seize the opportunity.
He's not in this thing, is he? Nope. I guess it's these switches here. Ulfar.
Embrace true power.
Let's get Hyrix out first. I'm guessing he's here. Oh no, I guess he's over there. Maybe not. I don't know where he's at. I'll take all. Ooh. Whenever the wearer dodges an attack, they become a priority target for the attacker until the wearer's next turn. Okay. Stinger Ring fires a single stinger pod shot that deals 12 to 21 damage and has 100% armor penetration. Target must pass a toughness resistance test or become stunned for 1 round. That's pretty good. Spiked Boots. At the start of the combat, the wearer inflicts bleeding on themselves. When the wearer performs an area melee attack, they inflict bleeding 3 on all hit creatures. This area melee attack also deals 5 times the wearer's bleeding level % in additional damage. And then 30% armor. Okay. Those boots, I might give them Marazai. What do your current boots do? Ooh, that's good though. But his thing, one of his features here that we got for him. Oh, where is it? Should be in here, right? Is it Origin Talents? I don't really know what it was. I don't even remember what it was called. Okay, we should be able to see it in the archetype thing. What was it? Was it Pierce the Armor? This is the wrong person. I was looking at the wrong person, I think. Yeah, Mantle of Agony. While bleeding, Gains 3 times their toughness bonus. Additional armor. Okay, nah, that's not really worth having that bleeding, I don't think. If he gets bled, that's fine, but... Alright, so he's not over here. Can I look on here? Will it tell me? I guess maybe he's over here? Maybe he's... I don't know. Pyrex, where are you? Where are you, buddy?
The world trembles beneath my
Oh, I guess that
feet.
was all just for that. Nope, these are all just goods. Oh, really? Where is he? Bead of Might. If the wearer has 8 or more AP at the start of their turn, they gain 30% damage for the rest of combat. Wow. Iron Cape. The wearer gains 10 agility and fellowship. Whenever the wearer's wounds should be decreased to 0 for the first time in combat, they are restored up to 50% of their maximum wounds instead. Long range aim lens increases ranged attacks distance by wearer's ballistic scores divided by 2 cells. That's pretty good. Homunculus' Injector. Removes bleeding, heals 1 trauma. Yep. Homunculus' Prism. This prism-shaped Xeno artifact is made from a black metal that is oddly cold to the touch. The strange device has no visible seams, buttons, or holes. Okay.
I tread a path.
Good stuff, good stuff.
unexplored.
Huh. He has to be over here, right? This is...
Intriguing. Let's seize the opportunity.
Where is he?
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Shoot sibs out. Do I need to like leave and come back? I need to talk to you guys? The Drakari, who is leaning over a body encased in a strange sarcophagus-like device, turns around. The Xenos' face is covered by a mirrored mask, and he is holding tools of some kind. They more closely resemble a torturer's implements than those of a Kairugan. A guttural hiss comes from behind the mask. What do you want, cattle? Examine the body in the sarcophagus. Okay. I thought this was where he was at when we first came here. You instantly recognize the man who is pinned with hooks and bonds of the numerous needles sticking out of the bowels of the device. Despite the deathly pale, bloodless tone of his skin, Interrogator Heinrich von Kallax is still alive. Judging by his weakly rising and falling chest and his frantically wandering, half-opened eyes. His head is tightly encircled by a wide metallic band. Blood is seeping from underneath it. The Drakari notices your interest and grabs his weapon. Get out, cattle. Master von Kallax! Cassia's ruby eyes are tearing up against her will. It is as if all the colors have been drained from him. Pale, ghostly shadows of his former hues are still clinging to his soul. We need to get him out of this machine. We must. What manner of device is that? Why do you care, cattle? The Drakari freezes for a moment, and you notice his hands shaking. Tervantes sent you for the essence of pain, didn't he? Tell him that the last samples turned out bad. It will take time to extract pure, unadulterated pain. Yes, a very long time. The monkey is stubborn and strong, but his vitality is waning. I just need to concentrate. The torturer's twitching fingers reach for his victim. Something tells me that you consumed those last samples yourself. What do you suppose Tervantes will do when he finds out? Step away from the contraption, and I shall let you live. Essence of pain, you say? I wish to observe the extraction. Kill him. The body inside the sarcophagus is not moving. Heinrich appears to have no awareness of his surroundings. His clouded gaze is directed past you. Heinrich, it's Imogene. Can you hear me? Heinrich's head moves ever so slightly. You get a good look at his eyes now. The pupils have constricted to the size of pinheads. He's blind. His bitten, bloodied lips begin to move. To the warp earth, you beast. I've heard all this before. You won't trick me. Touch his cheek. What have they done to you? This is no trick. Pull yourself together. I need your help. The God Emperor's chosen will not be addressed in such a way by the likes of you, commoner. To the warp with me? A splendid idea, but I am taking you with me. Or else, Kalkazar will have my head on a platter. I did not have time to prove anything to you. Touch his cheek. He flinches at your touch at first. Then, as if he can feel who is caressing his cheek, he gasps with relief. Imogene, is it you? You're alive. Struggling to turn his head, Heinrich presses his lips against your palm. Please find a way to get me out of this thing. Now that I think about it, I would rather leave you the way you are. Release him. You cut the tubes, pull the hooks and the needles, and free Heinrich from his bonds. He almost falls out of the Jakari device, just managing to stay on his feet. I wonder if we could have freed him earlier by killing that guy. Heinrich takes a step on unsteady feet and stretches out his arm, which begins to tremble with the exertion. His hand finds your shoulder, lightly slides up to your neck and to your cheek. Imogene. He falters, retracts his hand, and steps back. He gestures feebly at his eyes. I can't see a thing. Give me a moment to ascertain what they've done to me. The air around him grows noticeably colder. Blast it. I can't sense my body. What happened to you after we were captured? They moved me multiple times from one place to another. But what those places were, I cannot say. I saw spires in an ocean of mist. I saw the bowels of the Jakari ship. I almost broke free once. Few things frighten the Xenos as much as warp powers. I was close. Heinrich shakes his head. One might consider my words heretical, but I would say it was only due to the homunculus who brought me here that I survived after falling in that struggle. From there, it was just this place, this coffin, and pain. Did they blind you? No, I don't think so. It was likely just my body reacting to extended bouts of pain. Heinrich chuckles bitterly. To think that I have forgotten what it's like to experience such basic impulses. As a biomancer, I can stifle my physical reactions. Perhaps that is why I was chosen for this device, because I had distanced myself from the sensation of pain, and because of my stubbornness that forbade me from surrendering. You cannot sense your body? What does that mean? If I knew, I wouldn't be pondering the question right now, Imogene. I think... He pauses, seemingly listening to something. The circlet on my head wasn't inhibiting my abilities. It was turning them inward, binding them inside my body. They made me torture myself with warp energies. I was burning and mutilating my internal organs. Damn Xenos! Heinrich clenches his fists in fury and immediately winces from the pain. Can you walk? We don't have much time. I can. Move. Yes. Warp take them. I feel like my nerves have been turned inside out and then sewn back like that. For the time being, I will have to suffer pain whenever I take a step until I recuperate. Now that I am free to use my powers again, it's entirely achievable. Heinrich rubs his face and looks up to you, his eyes somewhat unfocused. As soon as he manages to focus, however, his gaze shifts over your shoulder. Then he freezes. Having met Marazai's gaze, Heinrich's face takes on an expression of primal ferocity. I can explain. Calm yourself on, Calyx. The enemy of our enemy is our ally. This Xeno is now under my protection. Should any harm come to him, you will regret it. Calm yourself. The enemy of my enemy. Ally. Heinrich is rendered speechless for a moment. The skies will sooner fall than I call that filth my ally. You may extend your protection to any abomination that will inevitably disembowel you alive, but do not dare to instruct me on my stance on an enemy of humanity. Insult me again, monkey, and this filth will show you what he's like in anger. This little diversion, Marazai scrapes the sarcophagus-like device with the claw of his gauntlet, will seem delightful in comparison. Heinrich blinks his feeble eyes and curses under his breath. I will require some time to recover. When the situation permits, I will find a quiet spot and concentrate on doing just that. Huh? Are you... Heinrich? No? What are these? Mind scrambler grenades. Okay. So what? Do we gotta go back to
The world will bow.
the pit? Okay, nothing more for you. Are we sure we can't get this guy out?
Oh, to see them cut down. By hands unclean. Alone. The paws guarding.
Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from a bone with his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling into his face. His beard is matted and blood-stained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any human equivalent. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine, an angel of the Emperor. The scar tattoos on his body, which at first appeared abstract and primitive, together form the angular image of a wolf's mouth with barred fangs. This person must be the genetic offspring of Lemon Russ, the space wolf of Fenris. Fenris Yolda Vlak. Kneel before him, hail angel of the Emperor, glory to the Emperor. Pray pause your filthy repast, for I am rogue traitor, Imogen von Valancius. I hope you are enjoying your meal. I am Imogen. Fenris Yolda Valak.
Fenris Yolda, mortal. You know the old words. Good words. Strong as a rock. Sharp as the blade of a force axe. Deadly as a kraken's tooth.
Okay. This guy's already cool. The red-haired giant's jaws stop their work. Emotions are hard to read read on the crudely hewn face, but you think you have surprised him. The words are spoken in the guttural rasp of an inveterate killer, wholly in keeping with the man's formidable appearance. But you did not expect him to slip into poetic epitaphs so readily. So, I don't...
What do you want?
Picking a piece of meat from between his teeth, the warrior resumes his murmured singing. Between the lines of his song, he tosses out, "Study the man." The huge body with straggly, overgrown red hair perfectly suits the deep, chilling voice of this man, or of this beast in the guise of a man. Tribal scar-like tattoos cover his chest, arms, and back, and you glimpse intricate braids in his massive unwashed hair. His body bears so many pale scars that you cannot count them all, and the muscles bulge beneath his skin like boulders. He looks like a statue carved from stone. It is clear that captivity has sapped this prisoner of none of his physical power. Your assessment is confirmed when you spot the remains of a Drakari in the pile of carrion at his feet, likely one of the homunculus' servants. The Drakari's flesh appears to be making a fine snack for your new acquaintance. Who are you?
I am a wolf.
At first glance, the man does not strike you as possessing great intellect. He's clearly more accustomed to mauling and killing than thinking, but you detect a certain shrewdness in his eyes. After looking you over, he says shortly, "How did you come to be here?"
My pack answered the Inquisition's call and came to the Coronis Expanse. There was a battle, and then the young wolves yearning to be meat for their brotherlings. To a feast of bolters they went out roving. Though they were but few, one long fang with them went loping. Not to see them cut down by scythes unclean. The pups he sent scattering, and there stood alone the paths guarding. For a foe he long spied, one worthy among unworthy. The song of swords singing, they clashed with clamor and skill. until stood the old wolf upon the bones. Then, by the birds of battle, was he brought down. Was that clear enough? This saga sounds less interesting in prose.
I love him. I love him. We gotta free him. I wish to know more about your brothers.
That butcher sent you to spy for him, did he? Or do they know nothing of the Emperor's angels, the space wolves of Fenris, or the great Layman Russ in your corner of the galaxy?
With a crooked smile, he narrows his eyes at you. Why does the homunculus just keep you in a cage?
For his own safety. When I am not busy killing inhuman spawn in the arena, the Xenos fear my will.
The giant lets out a low growl that rings with the fury of a wild beast. I want to help you. We suffered the same fate. I was also captured by the Xenos, and they have forced me to kill for their entertainment. I never imagined I would see an angel of the Emperor allow himself to be taken prisoner, and to be content with his subjugation. So you serve the enemies of humanity, I see. We suffered the same fate.
But I sit in a cage while you roam freely around their city. They do not fear you. Maybe there is a reason for that. Maybe our fates are not the same at all.
He shrugs. Point at the meat in his hands. Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
The warrior looks at you in mild surprise, and then understanding brings a crooked grin to his face. Answer just as obliquely. There must have been a reason for this bloody repast. And does it taste good? That's disgusting. A bad habit. You would know. There must be a reason. For a moment, the vicious grin loses some of its sincerity, and the bloodthirsty prisoner casts an intense, scrutinizing look at your face, as if trying to read your thoughts. You must be planning to escape, yes?
And why do you want to know?
Grinning, the warrior runs his fingers through his dirty hair, making himself look even wilder in the process. No more questions. Chewing, he wipes the blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. Listen closely to the song the prisoner is singing to himself. You do not know the language. The sounds seem crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. Try to join the singing. You close your eyes and enter the flow of the song, like slipping into a fast-flowing mountain river. Words rise up naturally in your mind. They are not the same ones sung by the prisoner, but you sense their aptness. Verse flows from your lips, full of surprising poetic metaphors and bloody details of a nameless hero fighting monsters under the light of unfamiliar stars.
You are the one who has supped the mjord of the Skjalds, I see. In the long haul, some of my brothers would be eager to tell you of their exploits so that you would sing a saga of their deeds.
A warrior such as you could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor. That claw-handed Xenos.
Step away from the cage. Oh, we leveled up. Nice. I guess we'll do that right now. Level 34. Common talent. Okay. So I want. We got Jakari weapon proficiency. Do we want Aldiri weapon proficiency too? I think so. That's not. We're after. Where's? Aldiri weapon proficiency. Yep. That way, if Earliet like a good sniper rifle for early ad ever drops, I'll be able to use it. All right, for you. Let's see. Do I want any more of these? All odds infected by patient do not suffer the negative effects of melee superiority. Get off of me. Also allows Navy officers to use any ranged weapon in threatened areas. Knocks enemies prone and pushes them one cell away during the effect. Scatter. All allies suffer only half damage from attacks of opportunity. That could be good. Let me see. What else? Not combat master. Nimble. 10% bonus to dodge. What is your dodge? Not great. I think nimble will probably be better for you. Out of the two. What's overpower? Need heavy weapon proficiency. Okay. Swift movements. Should we get heavy weapon proficiency? I'm gonna get that instead. Yeah, who needs to dodge? When I can just hit him hard. Alright, everybody's getting common talent, it looks like. Accelerated protocols. Pascal gains 6 MP in the first round of combat. Every successful melee attack grants Pascal more movement. Close-up scanning. Pascal's melee attacks apply the machine spirit communion effect on all attacked enemies. Exposing communion. Pascal's attacks and effects of the exposed weakness ability gain bonuses against enemies under the effects of machine spirit commune. Okay, that could be good. Plasma melted weapons the first time in a round. He gains 1 AP. That's what we're gonna get. It's got quite a few things, but I like that one. All right, next. We're gonna get this one, right? Yeah. What was that? Yeah, we're gonna get this. That was the one that increases her damage based on her staff. I think that's good. All right, Marizai. So I'm gonna keep getting this. Every kill he makes grants him a stacking bonus, or his fellowship and willpower increased by 15. Gonna get that. Again, we might give him those boots of bleeding. Seems like that would synergize well with that stuff, but for now we'll go with that. All right. Hey, buddy, give us the guy. Master, allow me to take the Space Marine you keep in a cage. No. The monculus snaps curtly, and he returns to his work. Noticing that you are still waiting for something, he hisses irritably, still not taking his eyes off the experiment. If you wish to continue wasting my time with your pathetic pleading and whining, specimen, then you know the price. Pay up or get out. Nothing to pay you with but my own flesh. Please accept it as a gift. That's not fair. I gave him stuff, and now I can't. I have an idea. But we need Heinrichs first. We're gonna get you, dude. I'm not paying my own flesh, at least unless I have to. Let's go get Heinrichs. I can't believe I gave him stuff for nothing. At this point, I should just kill him, to be honest.